the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Hello, everybody. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Detroit Pistons going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And for Cleveland, they are clearly amped up for this one and determined to have a strong showing from the get-go. They feel this is a game they can win and want to establish that pace early on. Guys, all around the league, you can see that level of respect that LeBron commands. Is he still one of the most intimidating players that you'll play against?
Oh, well, listen. If you're not intimidated, you're silly. However, you're still going to play hard. But there is a level of intimidation with all the awards, all the hardware that he's got, and he's still probably the most physically dominating force in the game. You know, a freak of nature.
You know, now that Kobe's gone, LeBron is now the elder statesman of the league, and rookies grew up watching them play. And 256% body fat. I need to go on that diet.
Do you think somebody can be intimidating and silly at the same time?
Well, we're sitting
if you're
next
not
to him.
intimidated, you're silly.
No question.
Well, what about silly intimidating?
Oh, that's what I'm feeling right now.
Oh.
And I have no idea what that means.
Me either, but
That's
it
the seat
sound
buzzing.
nice.
That's your seat buzzing.
But you know who does understand that?
Who's that?
Kevin Harlan.
Okay.
Can you spell that, tough guy?
And there is a buzz in the air in the sold-out Quicken Loans Arena. We've got the Detroit Pistons facing Cleveland. We're happy to have you with us for 2K Sports midweek presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan along with Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. On the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. DA?
Thanks, Kevin. Since taking over, Pistons coach and team president Stan Van Gundy has quickly reshaped the roster. The wins have followed. He said, "We've come a long way. Now we've got a group of guys who fit together on the floor and are all high-character individuals. There's a much better feel." Kevin?
It's not just about raw talent, but how the pieces fit, DA. Thanks. These two teams, Doris, slower paced, more methodical in the way they play.
Yeah, you know, you have to appreciate you can win in the NBA with a variety of different styles. We see some guys want to go up tempo. These are teams that want to get into their half court, use up as much of that 24 as possible, but get a good shot at the basket every time.
Is it harder for a fast-paced team to play slow or for a slow-paced team to play fast?
Always harder to me to speed up the tempo. There's so many things that you can do to slow the pace.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. Jackson and KCP are in the backcourt together. Morris is down low with Drummond. And it's Harris in at the 3 slot. Now here is Harris to the wing right side. Just 4 to shoot. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
And how about that? Just an easy way to get on the board.
You know, you love to jump out to that quick score. That allows a team to settle into the game comfortably.
Here's Smith. Irving a screen on Jackson. For the 3. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Irving.
And you look back on the Pistons, and whenever that group has had success as a franchise, it's always driven by a team-oriented concept. I mean, yeah, they've had stars, Isaiah Thomas, Chauncey Billups, but at the heart of all their title runs was a group of 5 guys that just played for each other. Almost got to that shot in time, just a split second late there, caught it just barely on its way down.
Smith outside. And now just over a minute played here in the first. James dishes to Thompson. Just 3 to shoot. LeBron shot is off. And thinking about the Pistons and their history of winning with pure team basketball, Greg, you can see that this is what this group is always striving for.
And Kevin, this group right now reminds you a little bit of those Pistons teams of the past. I mean, they're founded on defense. They got that tough mentality in the paint. You've got to be excited about this roster they've assembled here in Detroit.
Now here's Caldwell Pope following the shot by Tristan Thompson. James against Caldwell Pope. Harris outside. Here's Jackson. And too long on the shot. For Cleveland, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Kicks it out to James. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
Well, LeBron's going to put in work from the mid-range if you start to give him that kind of space.
Drummond a screen. To the middle. And he floats in for the easy two. Credit the assist on that one.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
If you're the coach, you hope it's a wake-up call. Get them to tighten things up on the inside and start protecting the rim with a little bit more authority.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
Morris a screen. Jackson has the open look. Again, the miss by Jackson. Nobody near Irving. And another three for Cleveland.
Boy, when Irving is in rhythm from distance like he is, turn the lights out. Defense has no answer.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Cavaliers lead by 1. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. And a chance to hear from LeBron James as he talked about the challenge of remaining calm and collected throughout the ups and downs of the NBA season.
For me, at a younger age, I was never even keel. We would win a playoff game when I was younger. I was excited out of my mind, and then you would lose, and I was the worst person in the world. But I think at this point in my career, I kind of stay even. One game shouldn't affect the next game. You know, you go out and play as hard as you can, live with the results.
Again, just another part of the maturation process for LeBron. He's become such the consummate pro.
He is absolutely as solid and steady as a rock at this point in his career. Nothing rattles him. Nothing throws him off his game.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, what's your take?
You know, it's been a great display of team basketball here thus far.
You know, everything runs better when you're being unselfish. The reason they're piling up assists is because they're willing to pass until they find a good shot.
Williams is out there with Iman Shumpert. Then it's Jefferson. Then there's Channing Frye. And it's LeBron in at the four-man position. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Baines, it's good, the assist that time from Smith. Baines has got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Pistons.
If you look at the Cavs offense, I think there's a lot to like. They can shoot it, they're sure-handed with the basketball, and they're very good at attacking the offensive glass.
The Pistons leading. Smith outside. Caldwell Pope against James. Caldwell Pope kicks to Lure. Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession.
Boy, that's a bit of a mental lapse, an embarrassing error to give up a possession.
So it's the Cavaliers now. Shumpert passes to Williams. Feeds to Frye. From 11 feet away. Can't hit that one. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Smith dishes to Johnson. Caldwell Pope kicks to Johnson. Count it. Good.
Well, you really have to be feeling it to go with the teardrop. That is not as easy as that looked.
Outside Williams. And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. And the pass to James. Lets it go from the wing, and he drops that one in. James has got his second basket of the night.
Well, Cleveland coach Tyronn Lue, of course, played 11 years in the NBA. Came off the bench, won titles with the Lakers, played on the worst team in the league. I mean, that breadth of experience seems to serve him well as a head coach. He's certainly seen enough.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyrie Irving was a virtuoso ball handler when he came into the league. He could penetrate at will and get to the rim. With all the injuries over the years, he's made an adjustment to that. He said, I enjoy finishing around the big men, but honestly, I'm trying to stay off the floor. I'm not going to stop trying to get to the basket, but with the big men we have, I don't have to do it every single time. We all learned that lesson over the years, Kevin.
Pay the price going in there, don't you, D.A.? Thank you. And Lue gives Coach Doc Rivers credit for seeing the coaching potential in him when he didn't see it in himself.
You're right, Kevin. Rivers told him, you could coach for me. And Tyronn wasn't so sure. Thought coaching sounded like too much work. 6 years later, change of heart, called Doc to ask for a job, and the rest is history.
And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. And Detroit has possession. Only given up 2 points this quarter. Smith the pass to Marjanovic. Johnson wide open. He fires. His three-pointer's off the mark. And no good that time. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's Detroit up 3. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Tyronn Lue. Coach, what is the focus going to be in the second half?
Just play the right way. Can move the ball, share the ball, get stops, and get out and run in transition.
Always leads to good results. Thanks, Tyronn. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Kenny Smith, right there. And Shaquille O'Neal, he's right there. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. Some good action during the period, as it was just a one-point game at the end of one. If you look at the second quarter scoring, they had a small edge. They really hung tough as we got close to halftime. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, your offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
Looking at Cleveland, Shaq, your thoughts?
You know, they haven't shot the ball very well. Not nearly enough quality looks. Right now, this game could easily come down to shot selection and how they run their offense. They need to keep the ball moving and generate better looks.
That's it for now, as the second half is just about ready to go. We, and I mean the three of us, will be right here after the final buzzer.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
And what he gives his team, guys, is an edge. He just lights up an arena when he gets it going. And in that first half, young fella had it going.
When he gets that hot, he gains ridiculous confidence. And then there's very little you can run at him defensively to make a stop.
Doris, so many rookies come into the NBA and talk about the physicality of the league. I also think they talk about the speed of the league and the difference from college to pro. Just how physical And just how fast is it for these kids?
Let me give you two visions, okay? You've got 6'8", 200 and maybe 60 pounds, right? LeBron James coming at you full steam, and you're looking at hulking shoulders, defined arms and legs, and you're thinking, I don't think it's in my best interest to take a charge. No way, no how.
Isn't he intimidating when he's on that kind of track and coming down with no governor?
I'll say this. You know, if LeBron James is in transition or back to the basket and you're guarding him, you're going to feel it like it's football Monday.
Checking out the group for Stan Van Gundy to start the second half. On the wings, Caldwell, Pope, and Harris. Morris is down low with Drummond. And it's Jackson in at the 1. And it's sent back by Drummond.
I mean, simply put, they're out of sync. 0 for 3 coming out of the break.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. And it's an 8-point Piston lead.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
I think defensively, they've got to get their heads in the game. Judging by that play, they've come out of the locker room a little lethargic.
Now here's Love. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. It's stolen by Harris. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. Harris with the ball.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
And one thing the Pistons have been doing in recent times is honoring the members of the 2004 championship team. Retired several numbers, and rightly so. You know, Gray, that team was special.
And that 2004 had a great cast of characters, many of whom found a rebirth with the Pistons. That team helped continue the us against the world feeling that the franchise had in the Bad Boys era. Hard to express just how much that team meant to the city of Detroit. Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Well, tighten up and toughen up in the lane. Establish better position, maybe even take some charges.
Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for LeBron. "90 seconds now into the second half. Here's Love. Morris with the block. Outside Jackson. Here's Caldwell Pope. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. You talk to anybody around the league about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and they'll talk about his defense. Just an absolute monster, Greg, with how he can lock up a perimeter player.
And it's a rarity for a player so young to be so good defensively. He's got quick feet and is aggressive at pressuring the ball. Only 6'5", but has the wingspan of a condor and really makes it hard to get around.
That free throw good from Caldwell-Pope. And Caldwell-Pope drops them both. And the Cavs are clearly an elite offensive team. Defensively, they've been a little more vulnerable. Doris, how do they make strides, you think, at that end of the floor?
Well, Kevin, part of it is simply focus and the will to improve. Players like Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson are great athletes, and they can improve on that end. I think they've needed another wing stopper who can space the floor as well.
Here's Jackson, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Drummond with a screen on Irving. Shoots off the screen. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
You can see it. His timing, his touch, everything just a shade off tonight.
Cleveland moving the ball around. Thompson sets the pick for Smith to the paint. He's looking for Love and finds him.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
They've got to be aware of that. They can't take any extra time.
Pistons leading by 10. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Jackson with it. He's got 5. Harris outside. Drummond. Rebound, Love. Outside, Jefferson. Smith outside. Drops in the tray. Smith's got it back down to within single digits for Cleveland. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Pistons lead by 7. And we're just moments away from the start of the 4th quarter. Stay with us. Let's listen in now to head coach Stan Van Gundy from a few moments ago.
We need to make solid plays, okay? Solid plays, aggressive plays, but solid plays, all right?
Wanting to keep up the energy here, Stan Van Gundy would also like to add a dose of greater efficiency.
You know, it's a delicate balance. To perform your best, you need to go 100%, but also be in control while doing it.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the 4th. It's Love and Fry, the sharpshooting big men. Kyrie Irving is out there with Iman Shumpert, and it's Dunleavy in at the small forward position. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. He misses the free throw. And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both.
And not what we're accustomed to seeing from him at all from the free throw line.
No good from Fry.
He should have made that, guys. The defense was okay, but he had no excuse not to finish.
Here's Johnson. Lays it up and banks it in. Johnson's got the first field goal of the 4th quarter here for the Pistons. The Cavaliers trail by 9. Outside Irving. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
Who knows what happened there, but I'm sure the defense is aware they dodged a bullet.
Fires from 14. Breaks a big high bounce and goes in. And now an 11-point Piston lead. Eldora is always on the hot list of topics as teams each year try to increase their odds at winning a championship. What do you feel are the key ingredients for a championship caliber team?
Talent, first and foremost.
Sure.
I mean, you think about some of the great stars who've won multiple championships. Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. One is talent. That's the first part. Coaching. I think coaching in the NBA is underrated. And then increasingly depth because, of course, over the years, the season has gotten longer. The playoffs have gotten longer. It takes more players to win in the NBA than it probably used to.
Is the feel in the locker room overrated? Is the cohesion, the culture, is that important on that list?
You know, it's a terrific question. I do think you can win without chemistry. I certainly think for us, you can feel it when a team is connected and when they enjoy playing with one another.
Like Golden State.
No question about it. You know, I think one thing, when LeBron returned to Cleveland, it was such a change in team culture, right? That military background that he sort of absorbed in Miami, he tried to bring that back to Cleveland. Now they're an outlier, but I think LeBron wanted the Cavs to move in that direction.
For the Cavaliers, Thompson comes in for Channing Frye. And it's LeBron in for Dunleavy. Here's LeBron. They need this. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play. And LeBron last season made his case publicly known about the need for the Cavs to go in early, go home late, and put in work. You think that helped?
Well, I think he was doing whatever he could, and at times it may have rubbed people the wrong way. And I think we have seen a change, though. Players are working harder. They understand the level of commitment needed to compete for a title.
Outside Jackson. Johnson the screen. Jackson kicks to Drummond. And Thompson sends it back.
That's where Thompson's length comes into play. You think you can sneak a shot over him, but he'll swat it right back at you.
James kicks to Irving. Fires for three. Knocks down the three ball.
He got himself into space behind the arc, and the D never picked him back up. Boy, you can't lose him.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They're up by 8. We've got 1:08 left to play here in the fourth. J.R. Smith's checked in for Cleveland. Then for the Pistons, Marcus Morris comes in for Marjanovic. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Stanley Johnson. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during the timeout, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He told him, I don't want us to be satisfied yet. We can congratulate ourselves later, after we win. Right now, we have to close this one out. He doesn't seem to think this one's over yet, Kevin.
Morris with the bucket. And the Pistons lead by 10.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Pistons.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
Just a quality win, and you look at the box score and some really good numbers for Reggie Jackson.
Well, what a game. Offensively, this guy was a force. Defensively, set the tone, just bringing everything to the table and trying to get this kind of lead.
Drummond a screen. The drive by Jackson, just 5 to shoot. Morris, no good.
Probably impossible for them to come back now.
The clock is not their friend anymore, that's for sure. This is all but over.
But they recover it. They get it again. Thompson dishes to Irving. Launches a three. Another miss by Irving. Now here's Jackson. And so the Pistons take the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. Superb. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game. Reggie Jackson really increased his productivity this evening, stepped up his game in a number of ways. The team would love to see him bring it like this night in and night out. Let's go to Kenny. What'd you think about his performance?
That was the full package that Reggie Jackson delivered tonight. An outstanding playmaker who can score from anywhere on the floor. He was a tough cover tonight and operating at the highest level.
Sometimes it takes a special effort from one of the others to win on the road, and that's what he gave them. He played an unbelievable ball game, played smart, played in control, and got them points when they needed it. Others, baby, I love them.
And that's it for tonight, but we've got a whole new NBA season ahead of us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again very soon.